This is the weekend edition of I-501 News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Alan Troop. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of I-501 News.
From the I-501 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is I-501 News, your number one source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is I-501 News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was our trip to the new Quincy Animal Shelter. Reporter Devin Higgins toured the new facility and now shares the details.
The city of Quincy has a new home for stray dogs and cats who are looking for homes of their own. The new $800,000 Quincy Animal Shelter held its grand opening Friday with an open house, and manager Rachel Lewis said the expanded facility will help both the pets and people.
So for us, we're so thrilled to be moved into this new facility since it's designed to do with what we're doing with it. It's set up for adoptions, all these nice rooms with the glass windows so you can look in and really observe the pets even before you're next to them or observe them playing with volunteers. It allows people a chance to see what an animal is going to be like in their home, which is the ultimate goal, is to get the pets into a home.
The old shelter was built across town in 2005, but Lewis said the move to a new building was necessary.
Our old facility was about half the size in total square footage as the building here is. We didn't have much of a play area. We have a great big grass backyard here for the dogs to be able to interact. We only had 7 indoor-outdoor kennels, and they were very poorly lit. So it's kind of a dark place, where here we're very well lit with indoor light, with lighting, as well as we have some skylights, so we get a lot of natural light as well, which just helps portray the animals. They look happier, it's brighter, it's much better.
A key element in helping shelter animals transition to homes is being in a safe and welcoming environment. Lewis said the new building fosters that transition.
It does, on top of them being more comfortable because it's more like a home where they came from. So it's less stress on them. Therefore, they are more acting like they would always act because they don't have that stressful transition period as much. So their personalities stay much truer. And then when they get into a home, the adopters don't see this total transformation. Sometimes bad habits tend to come from that, and then the adoption doesn't stick.
The Friends of the Quincy Animal Shelter were on hand to help give tours of the facility and provided refreshments. The Quincy Animal Shelter is slated to put nearly 500 cats and dogs in new homes this year and averages about 50 adoptions per month. The shelter only accepts animals from within the Quincy city limits, but have had families from Western Washington, Oregon, and even British Columbia, Canada come in and adopt pets. The shelter is also looking for donations of pet and cleaning supplies and welcomes volunteers from age 11 and up. In Quincy, Devin Higgins for I-501 News.
As the holidays got started, the Moses Lake Museum and Art Center celebrated with a show of their own, a show that almost didn't happen.
Hundreds of people celebrated the holiday season Friday night at the Moses Lake Museum and Art Center. The museum held its annual holiday show, which brought people to see art, bid on items, and have their photo taken with Santa Claus. Museum manager Freya Liggett was happy with the turnout for the event.
Well, we're only about a half hour into the event, and we're at almost capacity for the building, so we've had a fantastic turnout. The dessert bar is disappearing very quickly, and Santa, I believe, has just arrived.
She said the event helps raise money for the museum's free Family Saturday program. The program brings people to the museum to make crafts and participate in other family activities. The holiday show almost didn't happen this year after the City Council agreed to cut funding to it because of budget concerns. But a group of community members and businesses stepped in to support the show.
When the announcement came that we weren't going to have funding for this event, certainly it was a shock for our staff and our volunteers, kind of trying to figure out, what our next step would be. But we had so many people come out to help us and support us that we really didn't lose as much time as we could have. And tonight's event actually shaped up little easier than previous years. So.
While Liggett initially said it would be a smaller show than normal, the community sport made it larger than she expected. For iFiber1 News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
And we'll be right back after this.
Attention business owners. The deadline is fast approaching to advertise in the 2015 edition of the Moses Lake Local Book. Don't be the only business left out. In print or online, it's the best way to reach your customer when they're ready to buy. Call today to place your ad by calling 877-738-9829 or by visiting us online at www.statewideyp.com. The Moses Lake Local Book Telephone Directory. Simply the best advertising.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local communities since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of these many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
Hi everybody, meteorologist Don Morelli with you on this Thanksgiving Eve. Happy Thanksgiving everybody. Hope you have your friends and family with you and you enjoy your holiday. Mother Nature's going to treat us to a pretty nice day actually. Your forecast brought to you by Bud Cleary Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. So the Thanksgiving headlines. Well, the first thing is it's going to be very mild for Thanksgiving. That'll be nice. Slight chance of a sprinkle or two, particularly overnight into Friday morning. So any of those of you who might be getting up early for Black Friday to do some shopping, you might have a shower or two, but nothing heavy. The thing about the mild air is not going to last, especially this time of the year. So an Arctic front comes in Friday night, Saturday, much colder. And then we start to see a little bit of a warm-up trying to take place late Sunday to Monday, up and over the cold air, and that produces sometimes some messy situation, maybe some freezing drizzle or some light snow to start the work week next week. 49 and 36 extremes today. Now this precipitation, I want to go back a bit since Tuesday morning. I know everything ended last night. I just wanted to give you an idea of what the amount fell during that last recent rain event. 51 and 37 the extremes in Moses Lake, and still from Tuesday morning 1,300-inch precipitation. Nothing really since midnight. For most areas last night. There were still a few sprinkles after midnight, but nothing heavy. 45 degrees right now. The big thing is it's a nice night, nice start to our Thanksgiving holiday. Well, things are going to be variable in the mountains and west the next couple of days. The snow level, good news, is up there. So the passes are just wet now. I know this picked up a lot of snow in places. So if you still have some traveling to do, at least it's not white, it's wet. And west of the Cascades is really where most of the moisture will be for the time being. But here comes that sharp cold front. Friday, look at that, coming right on in. And again, we do have an opportunity for a sprinkle or two overnight into Friday morning. And then the cold air comes in during the day on Friday, and especially Friday night into Saturday. So again, looking for a little bit of a chill during the weekend. So enjoy these temperatures. West of the Cascades, as I mentioned on our upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, a little cloudy, a lot of showers around the inland northwest, a little upslope, maybe a few sprinkles or so, but generally here in the basin we're looking for the mild temperatures as well. So enjoy the nice Thanksgiving afternoon. I'll get out of the way and you can see a nice turkey day for you, lower 50s to even upper 50s in southern sections. Won't that be nice? Taking a look at the forecast now, a few sprinkles, particularly overnight on Friday morning, then the cold sweeps in for the weekend. Getting chilly. And watch out for Monday morning as the warmth tries to come back. As I mentioned, it might be a slick spot or two. But again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy your day.
You don't need me to tell you that 4 and all-wheel drive time is on its way. But maybe you didn't know your local Toyota dealers are gearing up for the season with special savings on our top-selling 4 and all-wheel drive models. From tough Tundra trucks to our best-selling CUV RAV4 or Venza, the perfect blend of all-wheel drive with safety and style. Plus many others. The bottom line is exceptional 4 or all-wheel drive savings just in time for winter. For full details on these and other savings, visit any of your Inland Empire Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Searching for that perfect place to settle down? Whether you're looking for an elegant single-story, spacious two-story, or a custom home on acreage, Aho Construction can aid your decision with a streamlined production process that saves time, money, and natural resources. Compare us to other builders and see for yourself what advantages you can get by choosing an Aho home. Our philosophy is that we do things right the first time around. Start planning your dream house today with Aho Construction. Call 509-766-1366.
Lady Vikings basketball is set to start next week. Head coach Preston Wilkes likes where his team is at to begin the season.
Lady Vikings basketball is right around the corner. With games starting next week, Big Ben is confident about the upcoming season, especially with their sophomore leadership.
Well, 4 of the 11 girls are returners, and the 4 that are coming back got to play quite a bit last year because of our circumstances last year with finishing the year with just 8 kids. So those 4 freshmen that are back as sophomores, I mean, they're really battle tested. They played a lot of minutes as freshmen.
A new season brings new expectations, and Coach Wilkes thinks this team can do something special.
Every year is a new year, and every year there's, the possibilities are limitless. And so we're excited to see what happens this year and see if we can't do something special this year.
One player who's looking to have a special season is sophomore Elizabeth LaRue. Elizabeth was diagnosed with lymphoma cancer last February and has gone through 6 months of chemotherapy. She's been cleared to play as long as she has enough energy. Coach Wilkes says her fight is all the motivation his team needs.
She's been an amazing example to all of us this year, and I think that's one reason why our chemistry is so good this year, is because of Kim, because of Elizabeth, watching her sacrifice and what she's been going through. It's really brought us closer together.
For Fiber One News, Sean Wells.
Expectations are high for Running Bike basketball. A new look team doesn't change things for head coach Mark Poth. He wants his team contending for the NWAC championship.
It's that time of year again. Running Bikes basketball is back in action. With 13 freshmen on the roster, youth and inexperience is evident, but head coach Mark Poth thinks this team will be ready come conference play.
A real young basketball team this year, got a good group of kids, good attitude. I think, might be a little work in progress, but I'm hoping through the season we can progressively get better, and by the time league starts, I'm hoping to be competitive this year.
Coach Poth likes how his team plays together and thinks that bodes well come game time.
I think probably right now, I think we play well together, and I think we continue to play well. We don't have one player that just stands out above anyone else. So I think we'll be a good, solid, team concept of playing together. I think that has to be our strength for us to be successful.
After making the playoffs the past few seasons, this year's expectations aren't any different. Make the playoffs and win the championship.
That's, no matter what kind of situation we're in, who's coming back, we feel like if we play well, develop as a team, come together, that we can definitely compete for a championship.
The first test for the Running Bikes will be November 29th at the Turkey Tournament hosted by Skagit Valley College. For Fiber One News, Sean Wells.
Big Ben kicks off season play this weekend at Skagit Valley College. We'll have a story on Big Ben come Monday. We'll be right back after this.
Just when I thought the blizzard couldn't get any better, DQ put the blizzard inside a waffle cone. This is mind-blowing. So when DQ asked me how I would tell the world, I said... Sounds better in Italian.
Pretty impressive, Liz. Any blizzard, like confetti cake, now in a fresh-baked waffle cone. This is fan food, not fast food.
We believe in home and all the magical things that come with it. We believe in living rooms with forts made from sofa cushions and blankets. We believe in the man cave, the woman cave. And finally, we believe that our calling in life is to find the home that's perfect for you. Coldwell Banker, fulfilling dreams for over 100 years.
Welcome back. Our next story was a very popular one and focused on a dog that was left to die in a dumpster. Reporter Jeff Chu fills us in on how the story has a happy ending.
He's still a little shy and hesitant around the new people he meets. But considering what Hank the Labrador mix went through earlier this month, it's really no surprise. Hank, as his new owner Kim Schrag named him, was found almost starved to death in a dumpster near Soap Lake Elementary School in early November. Soap Lake police and animal shelter volunteers rescued the dog, believed to be about 8 years old and abandoned. Emaciated and unable to walk, Hank had to be picked up and carried to the Soap Lake Animal Shelter, where he was given warmth, comfort, and food. They found Schrag, who said she did not hesitate to adopt Hank. It was through a stroke of luck that the dog was discovered.
Had the food service worker not been taking out the trash and heard him and called the police to have him rescued out of there, it's likely the garbage truck would have just dumped him and crushed him to death. So he's very fortunate that he was found in time.
Schrag sees Hank as a poster child for animal abuse. She is chronicling his recovery on her Facebook page called Diary of a Dog.
I just thought, well, I'll just do this, and then people can go on there and they can see photographs of him as he recovers, as he puts on weight, find out what he's doing. And then it just took on a life of its own. I mean, I spend more time on his Facebook page than I do on my own. So he's in fact, I even had to change the subtitle of his Facebook page to public figure because he's gotten so popular. It's just my own little joke. But we've got followers in Australia, Germany, Canada, the UK, probably about at least half of the 50 states, Alaska.
Schrag also set up a GoFundMe.com crowdfunding webpage and has raised almost $1,300 from people around the world who recently learned about Hank through the media, starting with Soap Lake for Locals and iFiber1 News. Little Rascals Pet Spa in Ephrata recently donated a spa day to Hank. Hank now has a home with Schrag, her border collie, and 2 cats. She said they share a nice backyard for exercise, and Hank is starting to trot around his new home. She said there's no reason to abandon a pet.
I would just like to say to anybody out there that has a pet that maybe they don't think they can afford, or it has medical issues and they don't think they can afford the vet bills, that the HumaneSociety.org website has a huge resource.
Schrag says the money raised will go toward Hank's veterinary bills. They include his malnourishment and rotting teeth that Schrag says appear damaged by gnawing on rocks to offset hunger. After the abuse and abandonment the dog has gone through, Schrag says he doesn't have a mean bone in his body.
For all that he's been through, he has an amazing disposition. I'm just baffled at why anyone would not keep him, or at least find him a home. Just dump him.
Hank has an appointment with the veterinarian next week, and Schrag says she will learn more about his condition. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber1 News.
And we'll be right back.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Are your kids rough on your furniture? Things looking a little run down? Then come to More Furniture in Ephrata and we can help get things back in order. We have all the top name brands made with strong quality support, including Sealy Posturepedic mattresses, because whatever you do in bed, Sealy supports it. The next time your furniture is in need of some replacing, stop into More Furniture in Ephrata, locally owned and trusted for over 100 years.
The next story is about a program to help kids enjoy outdoor sports. Reporter Jeff Chu found out about the program.
Moses Lake-based Youth Outdoors Unlimited takes children diagnosed with life-threatening diseases or physical disabilities out on fishing and hunting trips. The trips fulfill a child's dream to hunt or fish. Youth Outdoors Unlimited is a nonprofit organization founded 5 years ago by longtime Moses Lake residents Cindy and Joe Carpenter. As Youth Outdoors Executive Director Cindy Carpenter said, the group has taken a number of youths from around the state on trips. Carpenter said the trips are extensive and last 3 days. Her husband Joe, an expert hunter and fisherman, teaches kids how to shoot and fish as Youth Outdoors Hunting and Fishing Guide Manager. Carpenter recalled why the organization was formed.
We found a need in our state to help kids with medical challenges being able to enjoy the outdoors. Sometimes physically it's a little bit difficult for them, so we thought that that would be really a great way for us to pay it forward and our love for the outdoors. So we got a board of directors together and got a 501c3 and off we went.
Youth Outdoors is supervised by a board of 15 directors.
And the board of directors is there to keep us financially sound and moving in the direction that we were given our 501c3 for. We do work with a lot of volunteers, and so we encourage that. People who love the outdoors, who want to help these kids have a great outdoor experience.
The organization is dependent on landowners donating the use of their land for hunting. The organization also depends on volunteers and is always looking for youths to take on trips.
We have a really great base of landowners, Colfax, Deer Park, Elk, Wilson Creek, all over the state of Washington that we hunt in. We completely fund all of the expenses for the trip. So that's kind of an important thing to know, especially as you're dealing with families who have a lot of medical issues with their children. They can't necessarily afford those. So regardless of whether you can afford to pay or not pay, we still cover all the expenses.
Moses Lake area youths to experience fishing and hunting trips include 15-year-old Amanda Harder, who has cystic fibrosis, a terminal lung disease, and 13-year-old Marion Balderas, who has muscular dystrophy. With her father, Craig Harder, Amanda expressed her gratitude for a fishing trip with Youth Outdoors.
It was really fun. It was surprising how fun.
The Balderases were also grateful for their daughter's experience. Carpenter said Youth Outdoors' payback to her and the organization's volunteers comes in the form of inspiration from the youths enjoying the trips.
They don't complain, and they just want to experience things that able-bodied children can experience, and they're just so inspiring.
Youth Outdoors' annual fundraising auction is February 28th at the Best Western Plus Lakefront Inn at 3000 West Marina Drive in Moses Lake. I'm Jeff Chu for I-Fiber News.
As most of Grant County celebrated Thanksgiving, a small army of volunteers at the Moses Lake Food Bank helped hundreds of others enjoy the holiday.
Needy families and individuals lined up Monday along Marina Drive in Moses Lake to receive a Thanksgiving dinner from the Moses Lake Food Bank. About 30 volunteers of all ages helped pack cars with turkeys, potatoes, and all the trimmings for a full Thanksgiving meal. Although food bank volunteers did not intend to open until noon Monday, so many cars crowded Marina Drive that they decided to open at 10:30 a.m. to get traffic moving. Penny Archer, food bank manager, said at least 600 families are expected to receive the dinners through Wednesday. Archer said there's been a 37% increase of use of the food bank since the onset of the recession in 2008. Children and seniors comprise 60% of those receiving the food bank's Thanksgiving meals. Many of the families are working poor. I'm Jeff Chu for I-Fiber News.
Even though most people are either already driving to see relatives this weekend or staying home, reporter Jeff Chu found some safety tips that are always useful in the winter.
It's that time of year when bad timing can get you caught in bumper-to-bumper traffic while driving on Interstate 90 over Snoqualmie Pass. That's why Darren Wright, spokesman for the Washington State Patrol, recommends the basics of safe driving on the highway. Slow down below the speed limit. Keep a greater following distance than normal behind the car in front of you. Bring tire chains with you because the weather can quickly change. Before you leave home, go to the Department of Transportation website to see the road conditions for Snoqualmie Pass. Trooper Wright also recommends carrying a shovel, blankets, gloves, coats, a fire extinguisher, and a flashlight when driving over the pass. I'm Jeff Chu for I-501 News.
That wraps up our weekend edition. I-501 News will be back on Monday at 5 p.m. with the latest news from around the Columbia Basin. Thank you for watching.